This is Audible.
Recorded Books presents The Mad Wife by Meagan Church, narrated by Susan Bennett. A note before beginning. Stories have a way of finding us at just the right, or sometimes the most fragile, moment. This one is steeped in history, woven with grief and longing, entangled in the complexities of the human mind. It explores the weight of silence, the ache of the unseen, and the shadows that linger in the spaces between what is known and what is lost. If you find the pages growing heavy, if the emotions press too hard against your heart, please know you have permission to set the book down. Step away, take a breath, and return only when you're ready. Stories will wait. May this one meet you in your time. A weekly checklist to become the perfect housewife. The goal: try to make your home a place of peace and order, where your husband can relax. Monday, kitchen. Clean sink, clean counters, wipe appliances, sweep, scrub the linoleum until it shines like your fake smile. Tuesday, bedroom. Change sheets, wipe all surfaces, straighten closet, declutter, sweep, scream into a pillow. Wednesday, bathroom. Clean mirror and vanity, clean toilet, clean shower and bath, sweep, mop, avoid the shadows. Thursday, living room. Wipe all surfaces, declutter, dust cobwebs, sweep, stare out the window, and ponder how you ended up here. Friday, weekly. Declutter entryway, water plants, clean out car, clean out purse, stop smelling colors. Weekend. Other. Meal plan. Grocery shop. Clean fridge. Straighten up pantry. Spot clean floors. Quit tasting sounds. Daily tasks. Make bed. Load of laundry. Pick up clutter. Wash dishes. Wipe counters. Stay sane and smile. Masks are the order of the day, and the least I can do is cultivate the illusion that I am gay, serene, not hollow, and afraid. Sylvia Plath. The Journals of Sylvia Plath. Prologue. Remember. Henry said it with such earnestness. His hand cupped mine, his fingers frigid, as was everything in that facility. The winter chill snaking through the cracks, crevices, and paper-thin window panes, finding every possible way to slither inside. He leaned close to me, his face inches from my own, his eyes fixed on mine. I used to lose myself in those eyes. The irises so deep brown they bled into his pupils. I could smell his aftershave, the undertones of sandalwood, the hint of a musk that reminded me of how Daddy smelled on Sundays. See? I can remember. I remember Daddy all those years ago, and Mama and Georgie, how he used to love to run, and how he couldn't help himself from giggling as he sprinted, when he still could. I remember when Henry and I met at the university, our first date, the restaurant with the tablecloths, my back so sore from sitting up straight, and how he made me believe in the possibility of love at first sight, when all I hoped for was someone to belong to. I remember our babies, the first cries and the ones that would ring out at all hours of the night. I remember silence, too. Henry stood to leave, his hat in his hand, his eyes on the asbestos tile floor. That place, and the circumstances that had brought us there, had stripped away any warmth we had once shared.